This is Gary Whittaker of The Weigh-In and, of course, FightWorld.tv. And here I am with UFC now veteran Sean Pierson. UFC 129 is coming up, and it's coming up a little bit closer to your hometown. Let's start off with a simple question. You've been fighting for a long time, but this is the first time you're going to be able to do it in front of the thousands and thousands, tens of thousands of fans in your hometown. What's that feel like for you at the highest, the pinnacle of the sport?
It's a great feeling. It's an honor for me because this is the first event in Toronto, first really UFC event in Ontario. So it's an honor and a privilege to be a part of it. With that being said, like we talked about earlier, I still think my hometown's Montreal when it comes to fighting. I've had all my fights here and I love it here. So again, it's mixed feelings. I was glad my first fight ever was in Montreal, and now I'm ecstatic about fighting in Toronto.
Now, you've had a ton of people that have come down to Montreal, whether it be in that Centre Pierre Charbonneau, Club Soda, wherever it's been, Bell Centre, to come down and support you. How much more fans are you expecting actually to follow you? I mean, it's been around like 100 or even plus here in Montreal. Do they have enough room, enough tickets for all the fans that are going to be supporting you over in Toronto? And is there more family connection that's able to come down and support you being in Toronto?
Well, definitely family-wise, a lot more, people close to my family are going to be involved. My parents still can't watch me fight live.
Oh, no?
No, they watch me fight afterwards. They know I'm all right, and then they'll watch the fights, but they can't watch it live. And I understand that because I have a little one, so I understand what it's like. But the funny thing is, like, I've got tons of friends that want to go to these fights, like probably a couple thousand, you know what I mean? I don't know if you call them all friends, maybe associates, but you have to get tickets. I don't get tickets. I get 4 tickets, and everybody wants to call me, hey, Sean, can I get a ticket for this? I go, well, I don't know if you're sitting next to my wife or not, but listen, I don't got a lot, so it's funny.
All right. So definitely, as soon as you start making it to the top, I guess people come out of the woodwork. All of a sudden, you got second and third cousins you didn't realize that you had, right?
No, it's good. And it's a lot of people that have touched base back with you that, you hadn't seen in years. They're not necessarily friends, but people that I grew up with in public school. I had my grade 8 teacher sign into my webpage and say, congratulations, Sean, which was pretty cool. She sent me a picture of me in my grade 8 graduation. So things like that are cool. But yeah, you get a lot of, can I get tickets? Can I get a hookup? Can I get this? And it's all fine and dandy. Like, I like to have fans, so I try and associate and interact with everybody I can.
Now, one thing for sure is you have a lot on the line. If you look at specifically April 30th, UFC 129, if you want to look at it, you have a 6-fight win streak on the line. This is your second fight in the UFC, and you were like fight of the night contender, if you will. Even going into this with Brian Foster, people looking at this as a stand up and bang. You've got a lot on the line there. What are your thoughts about your opponent, first off, for this big matchup for yourself?
Well, Brian's real dangerous. He's a real explosive fighter. He's got some good submissions, and he likes to bang it out up there. So it'll be an interesting fight because I'm the same style. I like to go in there and fight. I don't want to go 15 minutes. That fight of the night was, an honor to be associated with in the last fight, but I didn't want to be there. I want the knockout of the night or something. I like the 3-minute fight. That's a great fight for me because it means I didn't get hurt. We're all good. Let's go party. And that's what this is about. You get in there, you fight, you go party with your friends and have a good time.
So it's all about the party. And listen, one thing I think is amazing is we look at your last fight. A lot of people talk about the nerves. A lot of people say, you have the UFC nerves. People when they reach the top, they don't want to lose. They fight like they don't want to lose. Then there's you, and people that know you know that you're an intelligent guy. But I think the people that know you're an intelligent guy, look at you going to that third round saying, Sean, you're up easily by 2, maybe even 3 points in the third round. Why are you going for it? Why are you booking all out? I think like, how much did those people question your sanity or your intelligence after that third round?
See, for me, I'm a fan of the sport first and foremost, and I'm a fighter second. I love this sport, and I know why I love this sport. I love to watch people fight. So when I go to the ring, I try and give it the same. I'm not going to say I want to be stupid in the ring, but I want the fans to like me. I want to go out and put in that fight that the fans are like, yeah, I want to see this guy fight again, because that's what this sport's about. It's an entertainment sport. So I want to be known to people as like, that guy puts on a great fight, and that's what I'm going to try to do every time. Do my best to, give the fans what they want.
Now, if you still, as an intelligent fighter, you got to think about what your opponent is going to think about you, right? It's kind of like, okay, I'm like this, so he's going to do this, so now maybe I need to adjust because of that. What do you think is going to be Brian Foster's game plan coming against you, UFC 129?
I don't know. I think he's going to try and stand up and bang with me. He's got, little firecrackers going there. He knocks some guys out. He swings hard and heavy, especially early in the fight. So I don't know if he probably expects me to bang it out with him, and that might be what's going to happen. I don't decide until I'm in there. Like, it's funny, like, everybody's like, what's the plan? I'm like, I give myself situations. This is what's going to happen in this situation. I can change my mind at any time. I can go in there and get tagged with a couple punches and be like, maybe I should slow this guy down a bit, put him into the cage, or I can get out there like I did with Riddle and hit him a couple times and be like, no, I can stand and bang with you. Let's do this.
So, and you're prepared to go anywhere. Part of what you're doing in terms of getting prepared is you're down right now at TriStar Gym in Montreal. Where do you spend all your training time, and who are some of your favorite training partners to help you get ready for a matchup?
It's hard to say favorite training partners because I have so many guys that I should list right now, and I don't want to discredit anybody. It's great. But Grand Brothers Mixed Martial Arts out in Toronto or North York is where I do most of my training. I got Sam Zakula, who comes in from the Tapstar crew, and he gets my jiu-jitsu going. Ryan Grant is my main trainer as far as the boxing is concerned. Wrestling is sort of my thing, but I got my boy Adrian Woolley, another boy Dante Berlingeri, who helped me out a little bit. And then I go out to, I'll go out to Team Impact. I'm gone out to the Montreal Wrestling Club here. I'm out here right now at TriStar, and I follow George around. Me and George do our thing. I'm gonna go to New York with him maybe. So there's a lot of people that help me out, and that's a great thing about being a Canadian boy here and being well versed in Montreal and in Toronto. A lot of guys are willing to help me out, and that's what you need here. You need a lot of great guys coming together to make yourself the best you can be.
One last question in terms of your training. You were big time on the local circuit. You made a huge name for yourself. Like you said, the fans in Montreal absolutely love you because of what you've done. Now, you had the training associated with that. Now you're training full-time UFC. You got your second fight coming up at the UFC. What are you doing different, especially now that you're a UFC fighter, and maybe specifically for this fight against Brian Foster, that you haven't done before in the past?
I'm actually training. I think that's the biggest difference. You can work 8 to 10 hours a day, and I'd go to train, but when you only get 2 hours in a day, and then I got to go home and see the family and stuff, it's not the same. Like, a lot of people don't realize, I had my first fight, I was off work for 2 weeks, and one of those weeks was just cutting weight. So I never really got to train full time, and I don't know if that's going to make me a much better athlete, but at least I'll know in my head now, this is what it takes to train full time. And the funny thing is, the only thing different from me before to now is I don't have a job. I'm putting it all on the line right now. I got to go out and fight for my paycheck. That's what this is about. I'm going to go out there, I'm going to fight, and I'm going to earn my paycheck.
Well, you know what? I think you've got some fantastic stories. We were talking off air about those stories, and I would love to talk to you again, a little bit more depth, and really get into the nitty-gritty of those stories. But you like to party, you like to have fun. And from what I hear, fans that even whether you're able to make the event themselves or watch it on pay-per-view, there's an after party. You want to give a shout out to your fans, message out to them, and where they can catch you at the after party as well of UFC 129 Toronto?
Well, after party hasn't been solidified completely yet, but I think it's at XS, downtown Toronto. It's going to be the Head Rush after party, but, come out, have a good time, and let's party it up.
And a message out for the fans there to support you and who've been supporting you forever, both Montreal and Toronto.
No, it's funny because when we talk about fans, I just think they're my friends. My friends with all fake names online saying Sean's the best, Sean's the best. But no, I appreciate all the support I get, and I've got a lot of love and appreciation for everybody who's helping me out now.
All right, so this is Sean Pierson taking care of business, UFC 129. That's where you can catch him. Hopefully he's going to be two-time winner at the UFC. Pleasure.